Assalamualaikum, everyone. Today is September 12th, 2021. Welcome to Wall Street to Bay Street Sunday Chai with Sharia Portfolio Canada. My name is Nadeem Mian.
And my name is Shamil. Get your chai ready and let's get into swinging things here. So the first thing you might be noticing today is that I'm wearing a lot of red. The red is kind of a symbolism of how the market's gone. It's been a pretty down week in the market, but obviously not what we like to see, but these things happen. So Nadeem, why don't you start us off by telling us kind of what led to the dip in the markets this week?
Yeah, so Friday was the fifth straight down day for U.S. markets, whether you were looking at the Dow, S&P, or the NASDAQ. On Friday alone, the Dow was off by 271 points. A lot of that had to do with Apple coming down. There was a federal judge that ruled on Friday that against Apple on a something relating to their in-app purchasing. But outside of that, I mean, the losing streak for the market really started last week when there was a poor jobs report in the U.S. Market didn't really like it; it didn't come up to expectation, and then as a result, you got to, I guess you could say, some of the fear started to kind of creep into the market. And on top of that, I mean, it's been somewhat of a quiet week. There's no major earnings reports. Most of the corporations have already reported. It is also a Jewish holiday, and that tends to kind of, reduce the volume in the market, and historically has been, create some choppiness. Outside of that, I guess you could say that, there hasn't been really any major reason or catalyst to kind of get into the market. COVID also, there's been some consistent worries about the COVID cases and that possibly slowing the economy down. So I guess you could say, it's been a combination of reasons. Overall, the market has pulled back, but nothing that would warrant a crash, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, kind of, similar to that, the crypto market, which is a pretty popular topic, it had a bit of a rough, couple weeks as well. So why don't you tell us a little more about that as well?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I'm not a cryptocurrency expert, but it is an asset, and just like any other asset, it functions on a demand and supply type of a situation. But typically, historically, first of all, September has actually, I don't think Bitcoin has never had a positive month of September. And, so seasonality is kind of kicking in, and historically, it looks like, we're getting that today. That's number one, I guess. But the other thing is, the news was that El Salvador has, adopted Bitcoin as a currency, and I think the market knew about this, and there was somewhat of a glitch in their launch, and you could say that part of that may have led to some of the selling. I mean, Bitcoin on that day was down about 17% on Tuesday alone on the launch day. But overall, I would say that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, typically when the market is on a risk-on mood, crypto tends to do well. And when it's a risk-off, then you also see a pullback, and that's, I think, what we're getting. So in other words, as the stock market's pulling back, crypto's pulling back, and that seems to be a pretty strong correlation as far as what we've seen in the past few years.
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be interesting to see going forward if the markets can kind of, take a turn the right way. But yeah, that's all the topics we had for today. So, as always, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for bringing your chai. And from Nadeem and I, we hope to see you next week. And if you do have any, questions, feel free to put them in the comment section below. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, Assalamualaikum.
Nadeem Mian, Portfolio Manager, registered as an advising representative, and Shamil Devji, Financial Advisor, registered as a dealing representative with Sharia Portfolio Canada Inc., a portfolio manager registered in the provinces of Ontario, British Columbia, and Alberta. Their opinions and statements expressed in this show are their personal opinions and do not necessarily reflect those of Sharia Portfolio. They are effective as of the date of this broadcast only and are subject to change. This discussion is for general information purposes only and is not investment advice.